Folks! Welcome to 2023, Rudy. And a little bit of a different video today. No, we're not going to the Lego video. Not yet. It's coming. I promise you it's coming. I've been talking about it. No, we're not going to From the Vault Unlimited or bait. It's coming. I promise in 2023. I know I've been promising a lot, and my videos are like broken promises and just hopes and dreams, white boyfriends, exes, and memes. I know that's what you all think when you watch my channel. And for that, I will pretend to apologize to you. Okay. So, I had an interesting conversation. And this long-term patron says, Rudy, straight up with you, I've lost my butt. I'm not allowed to curse anymore on YouTube. Apparently some new rules, and they pull a rope and you fall on the floor. So this individual lost 6 figures. He wouldn't tell me, so I'm assuming that's over 100,000 because I'm good at math, and math is hard. He lost it investing, you ready for this? In graded video games. I know, you guys are going, gee, shock face, what a games. Woo, what a surprise. And also, apparently, in luxury watches, wristwatches. And this individual also collects, well, sealed magic and reserveless magic. And not a fan of Pokemon, not a fan of Flesh and Blood, but this individual also likes some other different type of card games. Does like Weiss, does like MetaZoo, and I think some other card games I'm not really a part of. Big Yu-Gi-Oh fan also. So anyways, wanted me to make a response on what he should do, being down so much on investing in high-end luxury wristwatches. Well, you know, Rolexes and Omegas and, you know, some other Patek? Let's stick with the Rolexes. And, you know, this individual was saying, hey, should I sell and take like the 50% loss because I bought at the high 9 months ago? And what about, you know, with the graded video games? You know, I understand watches ebbs and flow based on economic and, you know, how much money and wealth with the premium prices and rich people. But what about the graded video games? And, oh, yeah, that's not a green screen. I know you guys think this is all fake. Rudy, you must know something because you have graded video games in your background. So, yes, I do. But let me explain something to you all. I don't know much about wristwatches and luxury watches. I've always been fascinated by it, but I still kind of research in my spare time a lot of high-end watches that are it's a crazy world, but I don't have a lot of knowledge on that. But what I do believe is on the surface, if you overpaid for a Rolex or something, if you keep it in good condition, even not, I guess you can clean them up or restore, whatever. Overall, I feel like long-term, those kind of tend to drift upwards, but as with any markets, they have ups and downs. But I don't know enough to comment on really, should you sell at a loss? My instinct says you should probably, if you enjoy the watch, you should probably just keep it in a collection. But I don't feel the same way with the graded video game situation, okay? Specifically, there was a lot of drama and collapse that came out with Wada Games in 2022. Understand, when you see these VGA graded games I have in the background, you have to understand, I paid, I think, this Zelda 1, the original Zelda here, because it was nostalgic when I was a kid in the 80s with my mom. We used to play together all the time on regular NES and eventually SNES. But I paid, for like this graded VG85, I paid about $400 to $600. I don't remember the exact price, I apologize. And I believe the Link, I think this one was like $300 to $400. It was even cheaper, and this was graded in 80, it was a lower grade, whatever. But I wanted an unopened, you know, H-seal kind of, you know, factory sealed versions of these because they were just sentimental and just kind of special and nostalgic to me. So I didn't pay $5, $10, $50, $100,000 for these. And yes, last year I saw the value of these things go to those crazy numbers. And many people who watch my channel like, Rudy, you should just sell those and lock it in. I didn't care. I wanted the item. I didn't pay. I paid a couple $100. I bought them at, I think, the end of 2018, beginning of 2019 or something. I've had them for 3-4 years now. Oh wait, it's 2023. 4 or 5 years? Jeez. So what I'm getting at, everybody, is if the Wada game situation was a more scammy, shady, there was a lot of weird things. I don't know all the players involved, but people who were grading them were selling them. The auctions houses there was a lot of weird conspiracy stuff that I cannot understand who's who, what's what. I've seen the channels and the other videos were millions of views, but to me, at the end of the day, I never thought a graded factory sealed Zelda was worth like $100,000 or $500,000 or $100,000 or $250,000. I never thought an unopened Mario was $1 million. Like, I remember seeing that stuff about a year ago, and I remember thinking, who the hell's going to pay that? Like, I never believed they were worth that. I never sold mine. I never really cared. I still don't think it's worth it. I think today, sure, they're worth more than a couple hundred I paid. I'd say they're worth a couple $1,000s. But I don't care. I wanted the item. So for the individuals like this individual who was strictly entering the market in this bubble of 2021, 2022, and they were parking all this excess money into WATA graded games or Rolex wristwatches, I have more confidence that in 5-10 years, authentic, genuine Rolexes are probably going to be doing better than the WATA game that you probably paid $50,000 for that may be worth $3,000 today. Like, I don't have a lot of confidence that $3,000 video game is going to go back to $50,000 or go to $100,000. I'm not seeing it because graded video games, supply and demand, what's out there, that's a very gray area thing. We know how many alpha rares, and we know how many Arabian Nights, we know Bazaar of Rudy's, we know Library of Ex-Girlfriends, we know these things, and we know the desire for them. I don't know how many people are willing to spend $1 million on an unopened Mario Brothers. That does not feel the same to me. And that could just be my personal opinion. I don't know enough about it. I just like them. So again, when you see some now, side note, things like this. Now, graded actual Federal Reserve notes and paper currency, this is something I personally just enjoy. I buy these. I bought this one a couple years ago. I think I even did a video on some of my graded notes. And I love PMG graded 65s, then the gem mint ones, similar to like PSA 10s and graded, CCG cards, EPQ, exceptional paper quality kind of stuff. I just think they're gorgeous. I don't think the quality and the art, I just think they're beautiful. That's the reason I bought these. And yes, they tend to go up and do well, but again, I think long term, those things are fine. I don't think, if you're sitting right now with graded WATA video games that you paid $100,000 for, and you're trying to even get a buyer for $50,000 at a 50% loss, I think you either need to A, keep it and just enjoy the product, but that may not be an option because you feel kind of really burned and toxic on it. I get it. That means B, you may just need to sell it at a deep loss and then talk to a tax advisor and however your personal situation is and see what your options are. I personally don't have the confidence that this graded Zelda is going to go back to $1 million or some crazy stupid number. I never thought those were real, and I don't think they're going to return there anytime soon. And to recap everything, we're going to zoom out now. Just to remind everybody, 2021 was a bubble. The prices of everything, not just CCGs, not just real estate, not just collectibles, not just graded video games, not luxury wristwatches. I'm sure some even Lego sets. I'm telling you all, most asset classes, including crypto, many stocks, many bonds, many things were just mispriced. And now that is over with. The valve is turned off. We are in 2023. It's going to take us a week, maybe through January here, to really understand that. But it's important that I think we all try. And it's tough, I know. We got to understand 2021 was just a dumpster fire like 2020, but a different version. It was a euphoric, distorted time on everything, with some magic products, Wizards increasing print runs, the flesh and blood with the Monarch and manipulated supply of other bad players. We had literally the MetaZoo launch. We had Weiss sets that were spiking. We had the Logan Paul Pokemon. We had the WATA video games. We had cryptocurrency to the moon. Every single asset class that you were involved in, you weren't involved in, they all moved in relative similar directions. And unfortunately, we know now, because we have the data to look back, that most of those things were mispriced and they overshot to the upside. Now, it doesn't mean some of these cryptos or I don't know, a lot of those cryptos were just scams. These mainstream things or mainstream stocks or Bitcoin or certain stocks or certain collectibles or they may come back. But they're not going to you're not going to wake up and it's going to double your money. You're not going to wake up and it's all just going to be back to normal. I think the normal is now, which is you check your stock accounts, your crypto accounts, your eBay sold listings, your WATA games, and there's not really any movement. Maybe a 1% uptick or an auction ended a little higher. That's the way it was supposed to be all along. But it feels bad. It feels dirty and painful because we have the price memory of how high it was before. And I think we all need to slowly get to the point of what's happening right now in January of 2023 is normal. What happened before that is making us desire and miss was not normal. This is normal. What we all want to happen again was not normal. And that's a very backwards mindset to have. If you are going to make it right now, moving forward, you are going to have to hustle your butt off. You are going to have to grind and go back to what I talked about. Back to the 5 to 10% annual return is the goal. Work a lot of hours. If you have excess time and you're binge watching Netflix, Amazon's, Hulu's, and OnlyFans, and Rudy fans, and Rudy bathwater, you can watch that stuff, but you can't spend all night swiping on a bunch of chicks jumping up and down in 10-second clips. You can't do it because that time is being given away to these monetization. You can watch some of it, but you must keep it within reason. We are back to normal, folks. I can yell folks all you want, but there's no tendies. There's no 10xing. This is not real. This is back to the people who are going to make it are the ones who are going to be willing to grind the hell out of it and push like other people won't. And right now, a lot of people are still resisting and, well, I'm going to hold my weird alt garbage crypto coin that I've never heard of, at 100 millionth of a penny, and I'm going to wait. And hey, maybe in 10 years, 4 months, 17 days, and 8 hours, and 8 minutes from now, maybe it spikes up. But I don't know about you. I'm not going to bet my life by sitting and waiting for some uncontrollable event like that. That's a fallacy. That's not a healthy mindset. You need to go back to focusing on, okay, how much time do I have? What do I like to do? What am I good at? Okay, I'm going to take this Taco Bell job with Rudy, working the midnight shift, slinging tacos to Rudy's, wife's boyfriend or whatever, and we're going to sling gorditas, and I'm going to take this money, and I'm going to slowly save it so I can go buy, a house, a sealed product, a crypto coin. I don't know. You probably shouldn't do that. That seems kind of reckless if you don't have a house. You have to return to working hard, saving, get the foundation of your life, get out of debt, get your reserve cash, usually minimum of 5 to 10K, and go back to the boring, unsexy world that we had talked about. I've been talking about on this channel since 2016. Literally from 2016 to 2020, that 5-year block, all we talked about was grinding it. And it's a slow process. And we talked about this channel, many sealed products I felt were undervalued, and some of it turned out to be true. Some of it turned out to be the same price and nothing ever happened. And some now, of course, many things went down, but that's okay. The difference is the overall sum in moving forward. And I don't think I don't say anyone. I think most people aren't ready to admit that. I think a lot of people out there are still holding on for that. Okay, come on, the stock market's gonna pump back. This crypto Rudy coin is gonna pump back up. I'm telling you, Rudy, that my WADA gains are gonna go back up, and then right when they go up in price, I'm gonna sell it and I'm gonna get out at break even. I understand. You just want that uptick, but there are times in life you got to go back to the way of just grinding, and if something didn't work, it didn't work. If you still like the item or the asset or the collectible or the property or the stock, well, just keep it because you believe in it. Otherwise, we are back, folks, to, remember, I've told you guys all the time, I work 80 hours a week, period, straight up, okay? In a normal week, the average person in America works between 25 and 35 hours. So I'm doubling the rate of speed and progress as most of you watching. So in a long time frame, even if I screw up, I come out ahead. Welcome back to normal, everybody.